Hello and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I want you guys to know how much I appreciate you for subscribing to my channel. All of the new subscribers that I have been getting in, all of the subscribers that have been here with me from the beginning, that are loyal as we continue to grow. And the beautiful thing about it is that the new subscribers that are coming in, they fit right in with the subscribers that have been here with me from the very beginning. And we're real grown folks over here. So I really appreciate you guys so much. Today I wanted to talk about all of the young teens that have been going missing in the Memphis area. The sad thing about it is that we don't hear enough people talking about it. It's not just a problem in Memphis. It's a problem everywhere, but especially when there are African American children to go missing, we don't get the coverage in the media. Our children just don't get the coverage in the media that a Natalie Hollowell would get. That's the reason, years ago I started doing shows on missing persons because our children just did not get the coverage in the media, especially in the main media. They don't get the attention, the coverage, any of it, if you ask me. And when I say attention, not necessarily the attention from the police department as they should, because it's easier for them to just say that they are runaways, especially if they are of a certain age. I wanted to talk about the children one by one that have gone missing in Memphis. And I think since December 1st, there has been about 17 children that have gone missing. I was looking in the news earlier and I see where the three Miller sisters had been found. And fortunately, they were returned. But I saw that a lot of people on social media started to come together and share their pictures and things of that nature. And fortunately, they were found and they was returned home. Okay. Now, Tori Jackson is a young lady, a 16-year-old girl, um, that went missing out of Memphis on December 9th, 2022. The details are that the victim left the DCS facility without permission and has not returned. Okay. The thing about these DCS situations. Now, I have to say, it's not everybody, but I've always been extremely suspicious about children that went missing with DCS. And I can remember when I first started doing my TV show on Comcast. And this is something that has stuck with me because I feel like because I did not know the magnitude of how it was at that time, that a person had texted me and it was an anonymous text and it was like, I really think you should do a show on DCS. They are selling children. At that time, I was thinking maybe when they said that, it was extremely vague. I'm thinking they're selling children's social security numbers or something like that. I had no idea until I really started learning later on what was going on and how people don't know that privately, how there have been many complaints filed, especially with DCSs. And I'm not just talking about Memphis. I'm talking about all over the United States, especially in California, if you do your research on it, because children, people, unfortunately, people that have worked in the facilities, all the way up to some of the politicians, have abused some of the children in DCS. And when they go missing, they usually don't go missing voluntarily, how so many kids that have been in DCS end up in human trafficking. Now, I'm not saying that this is what is happening or what has happened with little Miss Tori Jackson. I'm not saying that she's missing. We don't know what has happened to her. But when I talk about situations with DCS, I have to put stuff like that into the atmosphere because I can't get on here and be robotic. I have to tell it. I want people to be alarmed. I cannot be politically correct. That's the reason why people that ain't worked don't know nothing now. because people are always so politically correct as it relates to things like this. The truth has to be out so that we can have our third eye open as it relates to what's happening to our children. The truth is that human trafficking rings are and hubs are posting up in out in different cities, okay, and they are targeting and snatching up young African American teens and children, because the younger the child is, the more that they could get for the child, especially if a pedophile has paid them enough money to go and steal them a child. And these children are going missing, and it's just easier to get a black child because they know that there's not going to be a lot of fuss about it as it relates to the media, which has got to change. We have to force the media to pay and give our children the attention that a Caucasian child will get also, that anybody of any other race will get also. Our communities have to come together. Our African American men got to stop preying on our children, because that is what is happening. It is so unfortunate that we see more and more black men getting involved in human trafficking rings and putting teenage girls into prostitution. If a young lady is a runaway, why not help her to get to safety instead of taking advantage of her? Just because a child is a runaway, it does not mean she is to be put into human trafficking and into prostitution. The exact same thing now is happening with young boys. Young boys are being forced into prostitution. The number where African American boys going missing has skyrocketed, because not only are they being used and sold into human trafficking if they're children, because more and more pedophile males are preferring boy children. Okay. Not only that, but they also have to worry about, especially teenage African American men, they have to worry about these hubs that are setting up in different cities and states now, that is kidnapping them and killing them for their organs. Like, y'all, all of this stuff is going on. It is so taboo. Nobody wants to talk about it because it's so sick that it almost seems like it's not real. I'm here to tell you, it is not a conspiracy theory. This stuff is absolutely happening. It is absolutely happening, and they are targeting the black community. As I always say, we definitely have to be careful about who we elect, because oftentimes, if we're not paying attention to who we elect, we see more and more pedophiles are running for office just so that they can get into positions and quietly change laws as it relates to pedophiles so they can get less time. I've always said that it is something wrong with a pedophile getting probation or 3 months, and someone who was caught with drugs getting 30 years. It's just something that is off about that, especially when they're ruining our children, when they're snatching children, having kidnapping them and torturing them and selling them into human trafficking or killing them for their organs. Y'all, this stuff is going on. And because of the children that are rapidly going missing in Memphis, I'm afraid that the exact same thing that had happened in St. Louis some years back, when I had families, black families, calling me in record numbers before YouTube was as popular as it is now, so that they could get on my TV show on Comcast to come and talk about their missing black children that was going missing in St. Louis, because they could not get a news station to talk about it. The girls were going missing around the exact same neighborhood, close proximity, had the same body weight, same build, similar in look, and they could not get the news media to speak about it. It seems like the exact same thing is starting to happen in Memphis. But y'all, we have to keep this out there. We have to scream on every rooftop. And we got to get to the lawmakers, because I feel like there is just not enough time given to these pedophiles and these human trafficking rings, these thugs that are snatching up our children and forcing them into prostitution for profits. I never thought I would live to see the day where black men, and it came so predatory, okay? Predatory to our children, to their women and their children. Okay? And before somebody say, well, the white men just do it too, I don't give a damn. The white men need to be castrated too. But our children are vulnerable and under attack because this is what is happening. And what makes me so mad about the police department is that they do everything in their willpower to hide this because they do not want to send pandemonium throughout the city, because they know if they put the truth out, people are going to be in an outrage. They're going to be consistently calling the police department and demanding that something is done, and they don't want to hear it. So it's a sad thing when a child goes missing and a parent is worried, sick about where their child is. And what these teenagers don't understand is they need to be more vocal with what is going on, because they are definitely targeting young girls and boys that get mad and just run out of their house. They set up on corners and in parking lots of stores to watch vulnerable mothers that walk in with small children, because unfortunately these rich billionaires love children. And so if they can get a little baby, a 2, 3 year old child, they target a mother with a lot of children to snatch their child up so that they can get about $50,000 to $100,000 for their baby to sell it off to a pedophile in a third world country. It's easier to take a child up out of the United States and marry some sick freak that ought to be dead. Okay. So y'all definitely, I wish that more people would talk about what is going on in Memphis. It's time to shine a spotlight on stuff like this. Our children are under attack. And the black organs have always been the preferred ones, especially the black males' organs. And so just like these black males want us to care about, as I'm talking to these adults too, because they would love a older black male, in his early 20s. They want us to care about them and scream on every rooftop what they are doing to our black males. They got to care about these young girls and stop participating and ruining these young girls' lives. Okay? All right. But anyways, you guys, I definitely wanted to talk about that, and I definitely wanted to do my part. I did see where another vlogger has spoken about the missing girls in Memphis, and I wish more vloggers would speak about it. I definitely had to do my part because this is so important. This is so important because it is happening in every city, and not just only in Memphis. We got to shine a spotlight on stuff like this in every city, okay? But anyways, my prayers is to the family. My prayers is that the girls are found, the children are found, the girls and the boys are found, and they find their way back home to their parents and to their respective loved ones. And if they are running away from anything that is not conducive to them in their home, I pray that somebody with a good heart snatches them up and guides them to a safe place where they can be protected. Okay? Lord knows I do. But anyways, you guys, I want you guys to like, share, and subscribe. Again, I really appreciate you so much. If you would like to support the channel, you can do it via Cash App. As I say, you guys absolutely rock. And I would appreciate it if you would share this video, because we got to care enough to keep stuff like this out there. These are our children. These are our children, and they are very, very vulnerable, okay? But anyways, you guys, please like, share, and subscribe. I love you guys. I'll talk with you later.